So today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal. We're going to talk about the biggest issue with drone releases, and it's probably not what you would expect. Stick around. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Original Dobo. If this is your first time here on my channel, it's all about drone and tech. So if you're interested in that type of thing, hit that subscribe button before you leave this video. So today we're talking about the worst part about drone releases, and it's not the wait-in. It's probably not what you would expect, and it's the expectation and the opinions prior to actually getting these products in hand. I'm guilty of it as well, and so are many other creators. But every time that there's a new release, it begins the toxicity. It all starts all over again, and it's getting somewhat annoying. The biggest issue I have anytime there's a new release is the opinions, though. And we'll get back to the expectation, but the opinions are the worst part, because it seems like nowadays in this world, you're either right or you're wrong. There's no sort of in between, and nobody's allowed to have a difference of opinion than anybody else. And those people aren't allowed to voice those opinions or even talk about those. So like when creators make videos about a product after it's announced, it's just them genuinely expressing their thoughts after experiencing other drones. And sometimes it helps others decide on whether or not they should buy something, or obviously in this case, like the Skydio, whether or not you should pre-order. I've seen all sorts of crazy comments from, oh my gosh, doesn't have a 1-inch sensor, you're gonna cut your hands, to all these different crazy assumptions. And the reality is nobody knows what's gonna happen until we get it in our hands. Obviously, Skydio has taken a different approach. They put it in hands of people that don't typically do drones. They do more like action sports stuff, because obviously this drone has a lot of autonomous features. So they've chosen to go a different marketing approach than saying, hey, you guys fly drones all the time. We want you to have this in your hand. So, you know, it's one of those things. We'll just have to wait and see what happens when it gets there. But I don't think that any one person's opinion is wrong, and I don't think any one person's opinion is necessarily right. And I think that's one of the important things that you need to learn to differentiate when you watch these videos, is that we're not talking in absolutes, or at least I'm not talking in absolutes. I'm not saying that the next drone is going to be the best drone, or the next drone is the drone that you should have to purchase. I will never tell you to spend your money on any one thing. Obviously, I think it's important too to let you know how YouTube works. Obviously, when we make these videos, we make them to be viewed, we make them to be seen. I'm just being honest, nobody's gonna make a video that's not going to get clicks. So you gotta bear that in mind every time you watch a video and you see a really super clickable thumbnail. You may wanna pause and think how much of this video you can really take serious. I'm trying to draw like a very realistic line with you all, so you have some good understanding of like how videos are created and like from a perspective. But it adds to the fire, and it makes drone releases just in particular very, very tough. Now, I fully expect that DJI is going to have a rebuttal to the Skydio. I can't imagine them that they wouldn't, and I can't imagine that they would just sit down, even with all the tariffs and everything going on. They've had to have positioned themselves in a place that they knew something like this was coming down the pipe, and that they're going to have a rebuttal. But even with that, there's going to be more opinions. There's going to be more arguments in the comments section. There's going to be more bickering, more fighting of who's right, who's wrong, what product should you buy, and why shouldn't you buy this over that. The reality is nobody needs to think about purchasing anything with anybody else's product or pockets. And that's what I see happening quite a bit, is in the comment section, is people trying to spend other people's money. And I think that's stupid. You should just buy something because you want to buy something. And if I voice my opinion, I'm only one person, and there's hundreds of videos online for the Skydio. And I think you should really sample all the different opinions, and also look at some of the footage that's coming out to determine whether or not this drone's right for you. Yeah, I get it. It's probably not going to be everybody's cup of tea, because there is a lot of autonomy here with this. And if you are somebody who likes to fly manually, don't get it. It's really that simple. Don't put $100 down for a pre-order. It's super simple. But what I tend to see is that with drone pilots specifically, we all have to have the best of the best of the best, and we don't use half of what's provided to us. And what I keep learning with Friday Night Flights is that there's so many different drone submissions, and I have drones from Mavic 2 Zooms to Sparks, and all the footage looks pretty damn good. And it's really hard, if I didn't tell you what drones they were, for you as a viewer to discern what drone filmed what. Honestly, boils down to the person behind the camera, and that's why opinions don't need to be taken too seriously in this industry until we have physical, evidence. And that goes with everything. I can get the skydio in my hand and maybe I don't like it. And maybe the hype was all for naught for me, but to somebody else, the drone would be amazing. So I just want to sort of set realistic expectations out, because I see a lot of videos going out and I'm reading through the comments and it's just getting really ugly in there. And I want you to bear in mind that we are just people behind a camera putting out our thoughts on this before we even touch it. And again, bear in mind that goes for any product, that we're just always going to have our opinion, our say, and we're always going to make a video that is clickable, if that makes sense. I hope this helps. I hope this makes some sense, but it's a problem that keeps coming up, and it's a problem that needed to be addressed, and something needed to be said, because if you guys want the opinions of people who will typically get these products in their hands first and potentially save you money, then you sort of just have to strike a balance of respect. But that's it. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I know it's a little bit different, maybe a little bit boring, but if you did, smash that like button. If you didn't, that other button tends to work fine. Hit that like 5 times. Wait, no, you can't hit it 5 times. Hit it 6 times. Just don't hit it at all. How about that? All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Stay original.